If you want to find out who'll be the next Carolina Idol, stay tuned to Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at Myrtle Square Mall in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We're focused on Carolina's Idol, which happened at the mall on October 19th. And we're visiting with Nicole Aiello, the Hospitality and Tourism Public Relations Coordinator for Burrs and Chapin. Nicole, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
Tell me about that title. That's a heck of a title,
That is the
Nicole.
longest title on the face of the earth, I think. You know, it takes me forever to type it, let alone explain it.
Does that mean they put a lot of hats on Nicole and just
Yep,
spread
they
her
do.
all over?
Basically, what that means is that I do the PR for the entertainment side of the company.
Right.
So the amusement parks, the mall, where we're here right now, Broadway at the beach, some of the golf, and some of the mini golf. So anything entertainment, that's what I do.
And you'll be preparing for the largest mall in South Carolina, the Mall of South Carolina. Will you be involved with that as well?
I'll be involved to a small extent at the beginning. It's going to all go to Pat Dowling to start with, and of course with our other partners too, their main offices. But we're really excited about it.
I'm sure the whole state is.
Yes,
particularly
absolutely.
The Strand. What about Carolina's Idol? This is an amazing phenomenon.
This is
October
cool.
19th was a big day. You all had
Yes.
more than 100 folks out to audition.
We sure did. This was one of the neatest things I think that we've ever did, and I got to go through the entire process of it. So we did everything from making up the judges' sheets to making copies of the applications to actually setting up, you know, the lines that they got to stand in, and then kind of listening at the door when they were doing their audition. So it was really cool.
How'd y'all go about deciding, obviously the American Idol was a huge phenomenon. Did you follow the show?
You know, I did a little bit, but I didn't start following it until about the last 10 contestants. And I kind of got coerced by some friends who are really big into reality TV, which I'm not.
Right.
And I started watching, and I got hooked. I hate to say.
Yeah, hooked on Fox.
It. Yeah,
I like
hooked on
that.
Fox.
Yeah. Did you feel good about Kelly as the final contestant?
Yeah, I did. I really thought it was going to be Justin until the last show, and then she just blew him out of the water. So
you felt good that she was a legitimate
I thought she
winner.
Was great.
Great.
Absolutely.
What about yourself? Had you ever done any musical performances or performed at all?
My first performance was when I was 4 years old. I sang with a little boy. We were dressed as a bride and a groom. I sang "You Light Up My Life," and it was horrible. But it was a lot of fun, and I sang publicly until I was about 20.
Is that
so,
right?
Yeah. I don't think I could do it now, but it's been a while.
Did you have professional training, or?
No, I did not.
Right.
It was just all what I thought was natural talent.
Yeah, and I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. They probably would have liked to have gotten you out of here had you not been working
involved,
with one
right?
of the sponsors. You would have probably been out here. I'm sure. Maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not.
What about? How long have you been in the Myrtle Beach area, Nicole? Are you a Myrtle Beach native?
I'm not. Actually, I'm originally from Ohio.
Oh, great.
Moved down here from New York City.
Oh.
So I did entertainment PR in New York and did a little PR for my namesake, Danny Aiello. And that was pretty cool, the Friars Roast up in New York City.
I'm sure.
And moved down here because my sister and her children were down here. And I moved down here about 4.5 years ago.
4.5 years ago. Oh, and how long have you been the hospitality and the very large title?
Right, the big long title.
Right.
Well, I've been with B&C for 4 years.
Okay.
Started at Broadway doing events and PR there. Moved over to the mall, and now I've got everything. I've been in this position about 2 years.
And you talked earlier about some of the properties that B&C or Myrtle
Burrs
Beach
and Chapin.
residents know it as B&C. Of course, Burrs and Chapin has a heck of a lot of properties. A lot of our viewers in the PD area up in Hartsville and then up in Robeson and Scotland County in North Carolina. So some of the other properties that folks traveling down to the beach may be aware of.
Sure. Well, everyone, of course, knows Broadway at the beach.
Right.
That's a staple when you come to Myrtle Beach. But Myrtle Square Mall, the Myrtle Beach Pavilion, NASCAR Speed Park. We've got a couple of NASCAR speed parks now. One's in Tennessee. South Beach Adventure. And then, of course, our golf courses, Grand Dunes, Pine Lakes, Tidewater. We've got some really, really quality stuff out there. And a little plug, if anybody wants to really look at what we've got, you can go to myrtlebeachtrips.com. They can see it for themselves.
I've seen myrtlebeachtrips.com.
Yeah.
That's a good-looking site. That's a good-looking site. And I'd like to plug some other sites, but I won't do that. I'm glad Nicole did that today. That's perfect. What about the preparation? You talked a little bit about the preparation getting into this. You all had to line up all the judges.
Yes. Yes.
You had to, of course, you teamed up with a local TV station, or we were going out finding sponsors.
Right.
You teamed up with a group of radio stations promoting not only in Myrtle but up in the Florence area.
Yep.
And then a lot of folks who'd gone online and found out about it. I think some of the contestants or some of the finalists were
We did.
Kennesaw, Georgia, and Greensboro, all over.
Yeah, all over the place. And we were really lucky to get the word out as far-reaching as we did. And, of course, it helps to have Fox on our side.
Yeah.
And we did some media on the radio stations. We did some TV, and we got it in the local papers, too. So just to let as many people as possible know that it's going to be out here. We also talked to some high school choral directors out at Coastal Carolina, let them know that it was coming so they could tell their students.
You also had a ton of stuff going on that day, October 19th. I think there was a big Chili Fest out at Broadway at the beach.
Chili Fest at Broadway, yeah.
A big event, and the American Art Association's Heart Walk out at the Pavilion.
Yep. We also had a pumpkin coloring contest out at Broadway at the beach, and a kids club here at the mall, all while this was happening. So we were pretty busy on the 19th.
This was an insane day, actually.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And some of the final things that happened actually that day. Can you tell the viewers a little bit about what happened that day?
Yeah, well, we had so many great contestants, and they had so much energy, and they were so excited. And I'll tell you what, I had to make the announcement on the top 10 or the top 12, excuse me, and I was nervous. I can't imagine, these kids and going through the process themselves. And it was just really neat, lining them up, sending them into the audition. They got 30 to 60 seconds, which isn't a whole lot to really, really impress someone. And then we got our top 12 and narrowed it down to one, and it was really neat. It was very exciting.
That's amazing. And you decided on the final two judges early on. Were there two judges at the end?
There were two judges at the end, and yeah, we did decide on that early on. So we kind of had that in the works during the week beforehand, before they had seen any of the contestants or anything like that.
So you'd had all the folks out no later than 10 a.m. So they did their auditions earlier in the morning and the early afternoon, and then took off, and all of them came back, or as many as thought they actually did well.
Yeah, we had families coming back to see who the finalists were going to be, because everyone was so nervous and tense and excited. I'm sure.
So you told who the 12 were at 5:30.
Yep.
And then they re-auditioned again.
Yeah, they had to go through another set of auditions, which, I mean, nerve-wracking. But they did a wonderful job. They were all just incredible. The talent that the kids have, that's local, local people. They had to be between 16 and 24.
Right.
And the talent that group had, that we had in here, was just amazing.
Nicole, thanks so much to Burson Chapin and all the folks who are putting this together, all the Cumulus Myrtle Beach radio stations, Fox 43, but particularly B&C allowing everyone to be out at Myrtle Square. Nicole Aiello, Hospitality and Tourism Public Relations Coordinator for Burson Chapin Company of Myrtle Beach. Thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
Stay tuned for more Carolina People coming up next. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at Myrtle Square Mall in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We're focused on Carolina's Idol, which was held at Myrtle Square Mall on October 19th. And we're visiting with one of the 12 finalists, Michael McDonough. Michael, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, buddy.
Are you from the area, Michael?
Not originally. I worked here about a year ago at the Alabama Theater, and just kind of happened to come back in town and say hello to some friends, and they said, "Are you auditioning?" And for what? And it just kind of happened like Tuesday night they said that.
So you'd heard about it a little less than a week in advance?
Yeah, I was actually going to go to the one in Atlanta because that's where my parents live, and just kind of happened to come to Myrtle Beach and say hello, and didn't know it was going to be here, and just happened to happen.
So you've been planning to audition anyway in Atlanta?
Right.
Great.
Yeah.
And you live where now?
I don't really. I just got off a cruise ship about 2.5 months ago, and I've just been kind of hanging out at my parents' house in Georgia, and catching up on friends and stuff. I haven't really seen them in 3 years because I've been working. So.
Tell the viewers a little bit real quick about that cruise ship. Is that something you've done before, or is this the first time?
I was working at the Alabama Theater, like I said, and before that I used to live in Tennessee. I worked for a man named Lee Greenwood there, another amazing singer, fantastic. And a company called Stiletto had seen me in that show, and just so happened that I was subbing in for one of our MCs because he was out, and I would sing some of the songs. And 2 years later, they called me at the Alabama Theater and said, "Do you want to do a cruise ship out of the blue?" And I just kind of, sure, let's do it. And so went and joined them in L.A. for rehearsals for 6 weeks, and then flew to Rio de Janeiro and joined the ship for 6 months.
Is that right? For 6 months? 6
months, Rio to Buenos Aires, and then did South America, Mexico, Central America, and Alaska and Canada.
While you were on the boat, were you able to watch American Idol at all?
Not at all. I came off the ship, and everybody was going, "You need to audition for this." And I had no clue what it was, and my mom and dad had been watching it, and by the time I got to see it, it was down to the 10 finalists, and, pretty hooked by then.
So you were able to watch those 10 finalists?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah. Did you feel pretty good about Kelly Clarkson being the winner there?
Definitely did. Rooting for Kelly the whole way.
So she was your favorite?
Oh, she's fantastic, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Beautiful voice. Amazing. Amazing talent.
How did you decide what song you would use? I mean, having only found out about 5 days before the event, how did you decide what song you would use for the audition?
Honestly, I really didn't know. I went to a performing arts high school, and I've been trying to perform since then. I've been working for 3 years, and so I just kind of accumulate songs and pick one of them and just go for it and see what happens. So it just kind of happened.
Did you do anything in particular to prepare for the audition?
I went and bought a sweater.
Right, yeah, dress to impress. I saw that at idolonfox.com. They had some ideas. Make sure to dress to impress, and you obviously did. That's a good-looking sweater.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
So you prepared a little bit. You bought a nice sweater. And,
yeah, like 2 nights ago, just went over here to the outlet mall and said, "Oh, I've got to get something to wear." I'm not
Did
prepared.
you sing a little bit of practice, a couple different songs?
Oh yeah,
It was a cappella, yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. I've got CDs of every song that I've sang in the past. So I just went through them and said, "Okay, here's 2 or 3 of them. I'll do one of these 3."
Great, great. Would you mind singing the selection or one of the selections you used for the viewers, Michael?
Sure, I'll do it.
Please, yeah.
I do a song called "Smoke Gets in Your Eyes." It's the first song I did earlier today.
Okay.
They asked me how I knew my true love was true. Whoa, I of course replied, something here inside cannot be denied. They said someday you'll find all who love are blind. Whoa, when your heart's on fire, you must realize that smoke gets in your eyes.
Michael McDonough, that was wonderful.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Michael McDonough, one of the 12 finalists at October 19th's Carolina's Idol. Stay tuned for more Carolina People coming up next. Good morning. Welcome back to Carolina People. This morning we're at Myrtle Square Mall in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We're focused on Carolina's Idol, and we're visiting with one of the 12 finalists at the October 19th performance out at Myrtle Square Mall. Chris Butler. Chris, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
Are you from the Myrtle Beach area, Chris?
I'm originally from a town called Rocky Point, North Carolina. It's a little bit above Wilmington, about 30 minutes. I've lived here now for 7 years down here in Myrtle Beach.
You've been down here 7 years?
7 years.
Have you been a performer much of your life?
As far as I can remember, I have. I would start in church, then I got into it in high school.
Right.
I did choir, I did show choir, I did things like that. And then when I got out of it, I decided, what do I want to do with myself? So I came down here, auditioned for some shows. I got a show here, actually, called High Step in Country.
High Step in Country? Oh, great.
I've been in it for this was my past 7th season. I really enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun. We do a lot of singing, a lot of dancing. A lot of people come out and see us.
Did you watch American Idol on Fox?
I watched most of it. Right at first, I was kind of like, what is this program? I was like, this is going to be like another Star Search, another thing like that. I didn't think it was all that big of a deal. Then once I heard more about it, and people were going, oh, yeah, well, my favorite contestant. Right. And then I was like, well, I need to watch this a little more. So I started watching it, and then I watched about middle way to all the way to the end.
So you watched it enough to get a pretty good idea of some of their finalists.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
How about Kelly Clarkson as the winner? Was that one you'd support?
Yeah, I really like her a lot. I have to give a lot of credit to Justin. He did really, really good. But me as a guy, and a guy's standpoint, because I'm a performer, you know, I always want to see a guy win.
Right.
But I think Kelly, she did a wonderful job. And
so would you say Justin was your favorite contestant?
he was one of my favorite. Yeah, I would say he was one of my favorites.
What do you have favorite types of music?
I kind of like all kinds of music. I sing a lot of country, new country stuff. I do a lot of old classical country stuff. I can do that. I do a lot of pop stuff as well. I try to stay away from the heavy metal, things like that. It's kind of hard to sing when you have to holler, things like that. That's what I can keep away from.
Chris, tell the viewers a little bit about what you did to prepare for the auditions. How far out before the actual auditions did you find out about it?
Well, actually, I found out last Sunday.
So about a week before.
About a week before.
Right.
I did a lot of, what am I going to wear? What am I going to look like? I know a lot of things have to deal with what you look like.
Yeah.
So I went and picked out a bunch of things. I went to a bunch of people, and I didn't get just one person's opinion on everything. I went around. I was at work. I went around to people. I was like, what is it? How did this look? How does that look? I went around my friends. How does this look? What does this look like? What do you think about this? And mostly kind of gathered everybody's opinion of what it looked like. And then I did the same thing with a song. I went and, what do you think I should sing? What do you think I should sing? Kind of kept it as more of a, where everybody had an input so people could steer me in the right direction, so I'm going to sell.
Yeah, I saw the idolonfox.com, the American Idol website that Fox has. They had a list of things to do to prepare for auditions. I don't know if you went there and checked out. One of them was dress to impress, and it really did make a big difference, and obviously you prepared. One was bring a posse with you to the audition, to have friends around, other folks to help support you to do anything, and obviously if you're the actual finalist who goes on to Atlanta, I'm sure you'll have friends with you down there.
Well, it keeps you a little comfortable.
Yeah, sure, exactly.
Makes you very comfortable when you have a lot of people come with you to an audition.
They had other things on there about, like, be prepared to be with people you can't stand.
Right.
I mean, be ready for anything. Also, know that no one's out there to help you.
Exactly.
I mean, none of the other contestants, none of the other, even finalists are out there. I mean, they're there to win. And so you may have a shirt or asking about how something looks. They're like, yeah, it looks great.
Right.
Of course, I mean, who knows?
Kind of like a fight between everybody, but everybody's being nice about it.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. How would you feel about when you were preparing? Obviously, as you said, you tried to sing a little bit for some of your friends. Did you sing different pieces?
I did. I went to the traditional. I thought about it. I was like, traditional music, a cappella, national anthem, Amazing Grace, Silent Night, things that are just everybody is going to sing because it's a cappella. It's a cappella something. I've never went to an audition that was a cappella. So when everything else has always had accompaniment tapes to it, so it was a lot easier. So when I was sitting back thinking about it, I was like, most everybody's going to sing the traditional songs a cappella because they're a cappella songs. So I tried to stay away from that. I tried to pick something that was not traditional and something that would be a little harder to sing if it was sung a cappella. That's what I basically tried to steer towards.
Well, speaking of that, would you feel comfortable singing the piece that was not totally traditional to the viewers?
Sure.
Please.
Sure.
Chris Butler, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
I'm already there. Take a look around. I'm the sunshine in your hair. I'm the shadow on the ground. I'm the whisper in the wind. and I'll be there until the end. Can you feel the love that we share? Oh, I'm already there.
Fantastic. Good luck in the competition.
Thank you so much.
Chris Butler, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, here to stay.
Thank you.
Stay tuned for more Carolina People coming up next. Good morning. Welcome back to Carolina People. This morning we're at Myrtle Square Mall in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We're focused on Carolina's Idol, which happened at Myrtle Square Mall on October 19th. And we're visiting with one of the 12 finalists, Kathryn Leffler. Kathryn, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Sure. Thank you.
It was a great week, I'm sure, getting ready for the auditions. How far in advance did you find out about them?
Well, I'd known about the American Idol in Georgia, and that's what I had really been preparing for, and then I saw this, and I figured I might as well take a shot at that.
Are you planning on going down to Atlanta for the auditions?
Yes.
Great, great. How long have you been performing much of your life, or just recently?
Yeah, I've been performing basically my whole life. I started singing lessons when I was 4 or 5 years old, and I've been doing just shows in my town, and doing weddings, and just doing plays and whatnot.
Are you from the area?
I'm actually from Pennsylvania, but I go to school here.
Oh, great. Where are you attending school?
Coastal Carolina University.
Okay, good, good. Did you follow American Idol while it was on air?
Yes, I did. Most of the time.
Did you? Did you feel good about Kelly Clarkson as the final winner?
Yeah, I definitely. She was my favorite from the first time that I saw her. But there were a lot of really talented people, but she was definitely my favorite.
She was your favorite contestant for sure.
Yeah, from the beginning.
Who did you think was the legitimate second or first runner-up?
Justin.
Really?
Yeah.
So you followed pretty closely aligned with the judges.
Yeah.
How did you go about preparing for the auditions?
Basically, I just went over all the songs that I've always done, like my favorite ones, and been singing them a cappella. I sang for my roommate, called my mom, made her listen to me, made them tell me what their favorite was, and then that's the one I went with.
Can you tell the viewers real quick about what it was like in there? You had 2 judges, and they asked you to perform a cappella.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a little nerve-wracking, but fun.
Had you ever performed in public a cappella?
Yeah, I did the national anthem all through high school for my basketball team.
Any professional training, or has it almost been...
Yes, I've had professional training. From the time I was 4 till about 13, maybe.
That was in Pennsylvania. Do you have anyone who's inspired you musically? Any performers in particular that you're fond of?
Any performers? Martina McBride is one of my favorites. Whitney Houston, all the really talented females out there.
Do you have any favorite music?
Mostly rock, actually. Bruce Springsteen's my all-time favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
Great. Huh. How about at Coastal? What are you studying, Kathryn?
Business.
Okay, great. You want to go into business yourself, or?
Well, I'm actually thinking about changing my major to education now.
Really?
I'm a little undecided.
In preparing for the auditions, I went to the American Idol website. It looked like there were a lot of different things in preparing: dress to impress, to get out there knowing that you may not stand some of the people you'll be with. Some of the other finalists may not be out there to help you out in performing for them beforehand. I'm sure there was a lot to do to get even auditioning for something small, as small as this, but the opportunity to go down to Atlanta is a big deal. Would you mind performing for the viewers real quick?
Sure.
Please.
I know it's been some time, but there's something on my mind. You see, I haven't been the same since that cold November day. We said we needed space, but all we found was an empty place. And the only things I learned is that I need you desperately. So here I am, and can you please tell me, where do broken hearts go? Can they find their way home, back to the open arms of a love that's waiting there? And if somebody loves you, won't they always love you? I look in your eyes, and I know that you still care for me.
Kathryn, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Kathryn Leffler, good luck in the competition.
Thank you very much.
Definitely. Stay tuned for more Carolina People coming up next. We want to send a big thanks out to Burrs & Chapin Company, Myrtle Square Mall, Cumulus Radio of Myrtle Beach, and WFXB Fox 43 for sponsoring Carolina Idol.